Aloha. This video, it's not gonna go too long. This time I'm gonna keep it short, because it'll just be a kind of like a combination or a compilation of the last few videos where I was mentioning belief systems and mentioning the escapism that comes from those belief systems, and really tie in the belief systems world that is really locking into the how and the why inherently outside of, the what of what's going on. So the escapism of belief systems that are in the new age are really like a mirror image of what's happening in the flat earth. Excuse me. I was just watching was it Flat Earth Assholes video talking about the map and how the whole thing is flawed. And I've been feeling this for a while now, which is why I don't really go into the science. I don't really like talking about the what, because that's not really tangible to me. The information itself that comes is still filtered through, whatever. The only way that I see that, people on the boots on the ground can do something like observe the way that we're living right now, as if something like thousands or tens of thousands of people all around the world got together, created some app, and sent up a bunch of cameras on a bunch of balloons in different parts of the world all at the same time, and then kind of had the app connect all of those images together so we can actually see what's going on, in real time in some kind of way. This is just some idea that I had been thinking about. But next to that, the information that we're getting from the azimuthal equidistant map and that whole thing is it's basically just like crumbs that are existing outside of the globe model. It's just based upon, what's been available. It's almost too easy in a sense. So it's really almost too easy. Not to mention the fact that that image is on the United Nations. It's already easily co-optable. But the main point being with that whole story is that you don't need a map. You don't need a map to understand the how and the why, which is the biggest point of this whole storyline. If you focus only on the science, the what, and you need some kind of rally point like a map, then you're actually setting yourself up for failure. You only really need the conviction that you've been lied to by the individuals who are in power. That's all you need. And there are stories after stories. There's proofs after proof, literal proofs. The flat earth map is not a proof. It's a hope. It's a hope that that's what it is. Things might make some kind of sense in many ways because of that, in and around that map. But it's not a definite proof. A definite proof is that you've been lied to, that NASA is lying to you. But that only really goes into, that's just the doorway. You have to go even further. The individual is the one that has to go further. And that's when you start stepping into your responsibilities with how and why things are the way they are, rather than consuming yourself with the hopes on what things are. See, it's easy. You can rally people around like something cool. You can make t-shirts, you can make hats, you can make cool videos with cool models. You can do all kinds of things when you have your own model. But that's just like labeling yourself a certain thing. It's tangible. So the so-called powers that be can easily just grab onto something and just say, you know what? You know, this is how it actually is, because that's the alchemy that they're working with. They can just punk you. And it's easy to punk people who are followers. It's easy to punk sheep. And then those, because that's the main thing. The way that you fight that system is to provide actual tangible proof. And the actual tangible proof that I'm seeing exist in the storylines that are in and around how we've been lied to and why we've been lied to. Holding on to a flat earth model is like the new age community holding on to the hopes of an alien or extraterrestrial savior.
My shaman gave this to me. I'm changing my name to Rainbow Moonbeam Star. Hold on, I'm totally getting a download right now. What sign are you? Is this vegan? It's Eckhart Tolle.
It's the same thing. It's the same mechanism. It's based upon beliefs, hopes, dreams, and ultimately a program that is it's not provable. It's not tangible. We can have all the proof in the world for there not being any curvature. There's whatever. We don't know if how many holes are in the ice wall. We don't know how far out things go. Nobody in the so-called flat earth community has been up into space and has taken pictures, you know, in person and that whole thing. We haven't had up. We sent one line, one camera up on one balloon to take a picture. And the only thing you really see is the flat horizon, and that's it. We haven't really mapped out ourselves, the earth. So how I'm seeing it is that the same downfalls that the new age community are running into when they put all their hopes and dreams in extraterrestrials coming to save the day are the same downfalls that the flat earth community is putting into the mainstream media or the mainstream community accepting the flat earth map as a mythical equidistant model. It's the same thing.
Will you hold space for me? I'm totally manifesting a boyfriend. I love your feathers. It's 2012. It's 2012. Where are my chlorella tablets?
If you can't let that go, then you yourself are locking yourself into another highly vulnerable program and another mind control mentality that hasn't really truly anchored itself in the main point, which is how this system works, how it was put in place, how it affects us, why it was put in place, why it's designed the way it is, and why things are the way they are right now in reference to the mainstream media getting ready to pick up the flat earth. And just ask yourself how are they going to co-opt this? If you have any kind of understanding that there's possibility that they could easily co-opt this so-called movement, how would they sell it to the people? They would need a toy. They need frisbees, they need t-shirts, they need hats. They need everything that the so-called flat earth community is already done for them. They need it commercializable. They need to be able to commercialize it. And that locks you into the so-called what. If you can't let go of the what mentality, then you're not going to be able to get into the how and the why, the depths of it. The why, in my opinion, being the main point, because the how is just the steps to get to the why. The why is always going to, in my eyes, as of this moment, is always going to boil down to the power and control, because that's ultimately what we're talking about. We're talking about how this system got to power, which includes many different mind control programs, not just heliocentrism. How the so-called powers that be got to power. Now, once in place, why the whole power grid is created and why we are being hidden, we are being kept from the information. What are our maximum potentials? What is our true potential here? If you're being dumbed down, you have to start asking yourself, what are the potentials of you being not being dumbed down, of you being able to express yourself without having to deal with the system as it's been put in place? And this, like in reference to the last video, like when I was asking about dreams and how, what are your dreams? Are your dreams even your dreams? Or are they in response to a broken system? Are they in response to a system that is chaotic, out of balance? And so are you shrinking your dreams? Yes, definitely. A lot of us are shrinking our dreams because of the way the system has created itself to be. So we're not even allowed to really dream. If you didn't have to worry about, food, water, shelter, and all of the things that are used to keep people dormant, to keep people complacent, apathetic, to keep people buying into this slave mind control program. If you didn't have all of that stuff, what kind of art would be created? What kind of music would we be making? What kind of real science will we be observing? All the science, all the observations, all the ancient technology, all that stuff that's hidden. We'd be literally living in a different world. Why are they hiding all of this? And then what would you do with it when you do have access to it? See, right now we're still cleaning up the mess of this destructive intelligence. So people lose their shit when they hear like, when are you gonna get to the message of like, what are we gonna do? You keep saying all this stuff that's bad. Well, what are we supposed to do? There's so much work that needs to be done first. You can't just jump in to start doing things beforehand. If people are destroying themselves, which is largely, in my opinion, the biggest thing that's going on right now, self-destruction, because people buy into this system. It's not largely, when you really look at the numbers, it's not the mind controllers that are literally putting their hands in your future generations' brains, in your children's minds. It's you. It's the parents. It's not the TV that's making you watch the TV. It's you that's watching the TV, or the people who are watching TV. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, it takes a while to let go of a lot of these things, and the older you are, the harder it's going to be. So right now, we're like the cleanup crew right now. So when you have people jumping into this is the way it is and this is what we need to do.
Can you guys be quiet? I'm meditating. I love your energy. I love Deepak Chopra. Oh my god, I love quantum physics. That's not what Saint Germain told me.
It's kind of like cleaning up a mess. You're sweeping. You're sweeping up the floor. You're getting all this garbage furniture out of the living room. You're like wiping off the counters. You're looking around, seeing what else needs to be done. And you got these other people walking around talking about, I did it. I did it. This is what we should do. Stepping all over the dirt, kicking the dirt around, looking, and you're just looking at them like, what the fuck are you doing? Why don't you pick up a fucking broom and help me sweep this shit up? No, you're just low energy. Like, you're just focusing. No, if you kick this dustpan one more fucking time, get to work. Nope, the aliens are coming. Nope, flat earth is gonna go mainstream. When it goes mainstream, anything, new age or flat earth, they will bring in their cleanup crew. And they won't clean up shit.
Oh my goddess. Chemtrails. Oh, I'm so detoxing right now. I'm like 80% raw. My guides are telling me I should do another master cleanse. Okay, I just sent her some love for you. I'm like 50% raw.
They will bring in the carpet crew. They will bring in the flooring. And they will put a carpet, a brand new carpet, laced with fluoride, laced with disease, laced with all of these chemicals. They will lay a new carpet right over all of the dirt and the destructive shit that is on that floor that you were sweeping up. And people will just say, oh, this is so wonderful. Look how this is so soft on my feet.
Saint Germain. Is this organic? Oh my god, did you eat all my chia seeds? I'm doing the master cleanse.
That'll be their reality. The new carpet. Because they're comfortable. And then what's going to happen again? That dirt and all that mold and mildew that's on the foundation is just going to, leak through the carpet and need to be addressed however many years down the road. That's how that system works. And you have people in the so-called truther community, new age community, even the flat earth community doing that work for them. Because we can't let go of toys. We can't let go of these hopes and beliefs in something that we vested our energies in. You don't need toys to prove that this power grid has an intent to parasite off of the people. You don't need it. You don't need a flat earth map. You don't need extraterrestrials. You don't need Planet X, the Anunnaki. You don't need whatever it is. You don't need that. If you are really addressing the power grid itself, the only thing you need is your conviction, your empowered self, your conviction in the space that these so-called powers that be, this power grid, has an intent to parasite off of the people. It has been going on for centuries. How many different ways has it been going on? There's your proof right there. Trace back all of the systems that have been created as a result of those destructive mentalities. Trace back the power of today. Look at the White House. Look at Western civilization. Look at your university system. All of these are at the foundation of your flat earth truth. If you're talking about NASA being corrupt, who are the people that work in NASA? You can't work in NASA unless you have some kind of degree or some sort. Where the hell did you get that degree? This is why it's so confusing to me in some ways when people say, oh, well, you focus on that. You focus on the indigenous people. You focus on that and what happened to them. I'm going to focus on this.
Are you Gemini? Is there any soy in this? Wait. Let's pull a card.
If you're not focusing on the storyline of humanity, you're not focusing on shit. Ultimately, yes, you're helping people open the door to seeing how this power grid is, But if you create a business out of that, you're actually setting up the platform for that carpet crew to walk in and put that carpet down. That's why I say it's so fucked up to say, oh, well, you do this and I'm going to do that. I understand different people have different ways of approaching different things. I understand that. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're calling yourself a truther and this and that, well, we're going to talk about truth. We're going to talk about this destructive idea of truth. Like I was saying in the last video, this so-called awakening is being weaponized.
I so know you from a past life. I saw my first UFO at Burning Man. Oh my God, did you feel that? Oh, you're such a cancer.
It's being weaponized to go against, to usher in this new idea of civilization. So you had Western civilization that was installed into the Americas back in 1492. What do you think is going to happen now? What the same thing happened. The whole heliocentric model kicked off at 1492. If that's coming to an end, then you have to see all the other systems that were also installed at the same time 500 years ago. So if you're going to just accept, if you're going to accept 80% slavery, then you're still a slave. Just because you got 20% truth or 20% idea of a truth, just like a new carpet.
Even though I ate a piece of cheese today, I totally love and accept myself. That's why they call it Tantra. Oh my God, I'm totally getting a download.
What are we really, how far are we really willing to go? When you're talking about the university system, you're talking about the intelligence that holds up this system. The pillars of the foundation, the pillars to this system is the so-called intellect. How did they get that power to build those universities? Where are those universities built? Literally on burial grounds in some cases. If you're not going to heal those wounds, you're looking to own your change. Your truth is based upon putting a brand new carpet on a dirty ass floor. And I have a fucking problem with that. Big time. Because you are actually setting up the foundation for the next mind control program that is no different than the new age with this whole awakening mentality. Just because you know about chakras, just because you know about crystals and the Illuminati and the Saturn cube matrix and, you know, this whole, the magic of the mainstream media and the cabal and reptilians, that doesn't mean that your third eye has awakened. That doesn't mean that you're awakened and you're woke and this and that.
What's your sign? And I'm a Sag, Gemini rising, Aries mood with a Venus in Scorpio. Oh my God, I'm totally getting a download. My crystal says you're not telling me everything. Have you seen my spirulina?
That's just some stuff in your observation. But since it's fringe, since it feels good, since it's actually based in some sort of truth in different facets of your reality, different styles, you call yourself awakened. No different than flat earth. There's so many holes in this stuff right now, but there are many truths that you can observe with your reality. So you just say, well, this is it. I am awakened to the truth. This is the only thing that matters.
It's happening.
That shit is easily co-optable. And what I'm saying is that it's very dangerous to step into that world and just say, this is it. I got it. Nothing else I need to focus on. And in fact, if you're focusing on something else, oh, that's just you. You just do that. That's just you. You can't stop on the freeway and think that you got it just because you're close to your exit. That's what's happening right now. People have been so consumed with no information, no intelligence, not feeling good at all, no wisdom. That's been the norm. But just because you get a little bit of something, you get a little bit of understanding of your reality. A little bit, little crumbs here and there. That tastes good. Some nutrients there. Little sprinkles, a little dash of something.
It is all happening. Forget downloading. We're like totally streaming now. It is all happening. You have such a beautiful spaceship.
That's what's happening right now with Flat Earth and the New Age. This is why Oprah's pumping the New Age with Eckhart Tolle, Deepak Chopra. They're giving you some little crumbs. Little something here. Jim Carrey, little something. There you go. Here's a little Russell Brand. There you go. Little crumbs of consciousness. There you go. Sprinkle a little dash. Little bacon bits of truth. There you go. And then boom. We tell you what the fuck truth is. And all those people who told you, who were walking around in their awakened superhero costume, a lot of them are just going to buy into that program. They're just going to be like, oh, yep, I knew things would change.
It's happening. Oh my god, there's so much energy right now. I'm totally still integrating from Burning Man. I was this close to levitating today.
I feel vindicated right now because I've been saying this New Age information for the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years. I'm glad somebody's listening. Finally. This is the real change we've been looking for. We've been prepped with all this Bernie Sanders shit. Little crumb. There you go. People still believing in politics. Here, little crumb, little Bernie crumbs. Eat that shit. Eat it. Eat it. You better not spit it out. You spit it out and you're out. You're out of the crew. But this Bernie, it's cutting the inside of my mouth like Captain Crunch. Doesn't get out of here. You're not part of the crew. You don't want real change. Bernie could have meant real change.
Oh my god, I love Wayne Dyer. I love Osho. Love Marianne Williamson. I love David Data.
The flat earth could have been real change. The Pleiadians could have meant real change. What story you want to buy into? Because the system itself is selling all of them. If you don't think they got their hands in flat earth, or they have a backup plan for flat earth, you are severely naive. If you don't think they have their hands, their little tiny ass, little troll ass hands, little parasitic crumbling hands in the New Age community, if you don't think that they're ushering in some backup plan in that shit, I don't know what else to say. You know what tripped me out last night? I was listening to The Secret Show. And coincidentally, those apps that Mark and Patricia got made by that dude just happened to be made by the same dude who made Eckhart Tolle's map. And that whole New Age thing.
No. I'm changing my name to Patty Yuniverse. No. It's happening. Try not to leak energy from your anus.
I've been saying that the New Age is getting ready. I'm not saying, oh yeah, they're part of the New Age. This is part of it. I'm not saying it. I just said it was pretty. I got a nice little chuckle when I heard that. Because that's exactly how this program is being sold and how I've been saying it will be sold to people. Just because the flat earth is catching some kind of tread, and just because, you know, if today or tomorrow it was, you know, accepted by the mainstream and they just started selling it, just ask yourself how they're gonna do it. It's gonna be this unifying unity, new age unity thing that they can gift wrap and start selling you all kinds of bullshit.
Their goal is to unite the world under a single jihadist caliphate. To do that, they must collapse freedom-loving nations.
Now what? Has the system been held accountable for anything? No, because they got a new TV show to watch. There's some new cartoons. There's some new crumbs to eat. Some new information to digest. And it'll take however long. No, it's like the polar opposite of a false flag. So this would be a true flag operation.
And I approve this message.
It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. Oh, space for you.
So you got your false flags, which install fear, separation, and all kinds of other stuff. But if you have a true flag operation, what's that gonna do? It's gonna send off the idea that you should come together. Barack Obama was a true flag operation. Barack Obama was a true flag operation. When Flat Earth goes mainstream, it will be a true flag operation. Or, like I said, a woke flag operation back in the day, like a few weeks ago. Bernie Sanders, same thing. Anybody, even if they get the next or the first woman president, it'll be a true flag operation. Aliens coming down, Pleiadians coming down, true flag operation. The New Age community right now is a true flag operation. Because there's a lot of truth in that. There's a lot of truth in even what Bernie Sanders was saying about the corruption, obviously. But like I said, 80% of that shit, you getting 80% of truth, that last 20% that's not being spoken of will kill you today or tomorrow.
It's not your job to like me. That's mine. I'm such a Sagittarius. It's all happening. I'm like totally releasing right now.
And just like I was mentioning in reference to the channeling information that comes to the New Age community, I don't give a shit if they're telling you 99.99999 forever percent of truth in some kind of way. If they're not talking about that last 0.001% or that last 1%, whatever it is, you got to start asking yourself why. What's the intent there? How are you only going to talk about some of this information? Which is why I get so like frustrated in some kind of ways when people try to tell me, you focus on that and I'm gonna focus on this, when I can easily see what they're focusing on is actually counterproductive to a lot of what I'm focusing on and what everybody else, a lot of other people I know is focusing on. It's actually setting people up for failure.
Oh my god, let's go to Agape this Sunday. Do you hold space for me? I'm totally manifesting a Vitamix. There any GMOs in this? You are right here, right now. I'm on a purely photonic diet right now.
But since it's built in 80, 90, 95% of truth, or some kind of, like their intentions are true, then you look like the bad guy. But I'm saying this information is not known. It's very well known that the people who work for NASA get their credentials from the university system. It's well known that the university system is sitting on top of the blood and the bones of the indigenous people. It's well known that the Western civilization, so-called civilization, is sitting on top of the colonization, the genocide and the massacre of the indigenous people, or the people around the earth right now. It's well known. So if you only want to tell some of the story, basically what you're saying is no different than what Trump is saying and Alex Jones is saying. I almost said Alex Trump. Alex Jones is saying, talking about make America great again. It's people that actually believe that shit. You talking about flat earth and flat earth going mainstream and saving the day is no different than Trump saying, make America great again.
Yeah, total initiation. It is all happening. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. It's all happening. It's already happened.
So I'll close it out on this. I just wanted to tie all those things in together. Your belief systems, you know, keep an eye on them. If this is an everlasting journey, if you're learning something new every day, if you're constantly growing, then realize that your belief systems in many ways could be your worst enemy. Yes, they may help you to get to a certain point. But once you get to that point, many of your belief systems will then they will like calcify, or it will turn into a density that will actually start to weigh you down because you have to start defending those belief systems. This was, and I didn't even watch the whole Flat Earth Assholes whole video, but this is exactly a proof of that is what he was talking about. He wanted to defend the Flat Earth model, the so-called map, against somebody who was debunking it or trying to debunk it. And he hit that point. And he said, look, I can't defend this shit. There's too many holes in it. That's a perfect example of an individual hitting their head on the ceiling of belief systems and challenging themselves to move on, to expand, and find out what else is there. What am I missing? What else is there? Because this has done its job. The azimuthal equidistant map, or whatever, has done its job for you as the individual, and hopefully for many other people. What's the next step? We have to realize people are thirsty. People are hungry for information, hungry for truth. We've been starving forever. The first thing that comes into your lap is just going to be demolished. You're just going to eat it up. This is what the new age, this is what happened to me in the new age and with a lot of people. And you get so full off of that sometimes you'll even eat the plate. You'll just be like, man, this is so delicious. I need more. You'll keep putting stuff on your plate. And then if there's stuff that's running out, if you have nothing else to eat, you'll start eating the plate. And all of that stuff right there, it's still outside of you. Your true fullness has to come from the inside out. This is where from the inside out. This is where, when you start analyzing the how and the why, you start disassembling this program from the inside out. You're not allowed to do that. In fact, in the New Age community, the New Age community gives you the illusion of doing that. They say, oh, the inside me is a Pleiadian. The inside me is from the Andromeda galaxy. And that person is coming out and observing this reality from a love and light, compassionate perspective. And ooh, I can see the Saturn matrix. Ooh, I can see all of the black magic that's being done. I can see the Illuminati. I can see my chakras. I can see people's auras. I have a relationship with crystals. I know about meditation. This must mean my third eye is opening. See, needing to heal the wounds, needing to clean up this mess isn't a belief system. It's a fact. It's one of the most hardcore truths and facts that are out there. It's just work that needs to be done. If you don't put in that work, then you won't really see what it is that you're doing. If you just start adopting new things on your plate and start eating it up, you're just you're just gonna make yourself fat in a new world. But are we getting healthy? Are we addressing the cancers and the diseases? Are we healing the wounds? Are we recognizing the foundations? Or are we covering it up? A false flag is like getting yourself fat, like getting, like Las Vegas, how many guns were sold? People are just fattening up on guns. They're fattening up on survival kits. A truth flag operation is the same effect like Obama and all this other stuff, like Bernie Sanders, Flat Earth, even the New Age community. It's like going to the gym. It's like you're working out. Instead of fattening up with guns to protect yourself, to make your own security, on a truth flag operation, you have the mentality of going to the gym. So you're just working out your muscles. You're focusing on your body. You're thinking things are changing. But are you really tapping into your higher mind? Are you tapping into your spiritual bodies, to the non-physical? Are you actually healing? In some ways you are. You're healing your physical body. You're not fattening up anymore. But are you creating another focus of limitation? Yes. Yes, you are. People who, yes, we can. And when people who are focusing on Barack Obama, was he better than McCain? If you believe in that world, obviously. If you understand the mechanism of that chess game, hell no. Actually worse. With somebody like George Bush, John McCain, and even Donald Trump right now, you can see the corruption. You can see how broken this system is. With somebody like Barack Obama and even Bernie Sanders, people believe in it more, and they won't be able to see it, which is why I keep saying that it's so much more dangerous to be setting up these truth flag operations like the New Age community, like a commercialized, let's just go mainstream with the flat earth mentality. Because you're actually making people work out and, in a sense, with another terminology, fatten up in a slave program. So that's pretty much what I wanted to say today. Don't get trapped in these New Age mentalities of thinking just because you go to the gym now and you meditate and you focus on your chakras and all this, that's not the end game. That's not it. Like your third eye opening ain't nothing but a spiritual toy. Flat Earth map, Flat Earth going mainstream, it's just a toy. A hopeful toy. And in order for everybody to jump on board and be a part of the community that is now one with the earth, so we can unify, all you have to do is buy this toy. I'm not buying that damn toy. I know it's lead in that toy. I know who made that toy. Anyway, thank you for joining me. And until next time, from all my relations, peace, love, and harmony.